Most people thought the Blackbird story was finished, and honestly, I did too at one point. But the idea of a 2026 Honda CBR1400XX Blackbird coming back makes me question whether hyper-sport touring still has a place in today's world of adventure bikes and electronics-heavy superbikes. What surprised me is how many riders secretly miss bikes that were brutally fast but still comfortable enough to ride all day. When I compare modern leader bikes to the old Blackbird concept, I notice something interesting. Today's machines chase lap times, not real-world riding pleasure, and that changes everything. The original appeal wasn't just speed, it was effortless speed with stability and comfort. Most people miss this and assume faster always means better. But I've learned that a bike you can ride for 6 hours straight often ends up being more fun than one that hurts after 60 minutes. If Honda truly revives this machine, they need to remember that balance, not just horsepower numbers. One big misconception I see online is people wanting it to compete directly with modern superbikes. That would completely miss the point. A Blackbird reborn in 2026 should feel like a missile on highways, not a track weapon pretending to be comfortable. For riders, the practical takeaway is simple. Decide where you actually ride before chasing specs. I've compared long highway rides on sport bikes versus sport tours, and fatigue changes your entire experience. A slightly relaxed riding position keeps you sharper, safer, and actually faster over distance. And honestly, most people don't spend weekends at racetracks. Another thing that caught my attention is how riders today expect technology everywhere. Traction control, adaptive suspension, ride modes, cornering ABS, they're almost mandatory now. But I hope Honda doesn't overcomplicate things. One charm of the Blackbird legacy was how smooth and predictable everything felt without endless menus. Most riders think more electronics automatically improve the ride, yet sometimes simplicity makes you trust the bike more. A practical takeaway here is choosing technology that helps, not distracts. I've ridden bikes where changing settings mid-ride became annoying rather than useful. Another surprise for me is how design expectations have shifted. Aggressive styling dominates today, but the Blackbird always looked sleek rather than angry. And honestly, that timeless look aged better than many sharp-edged sport bikes. The mistake manufacturers often make is chasing trends instead of building lasting design. If the 2026 version keeps a clean aerodynamic silhouette, it'll age gracefully. For riders, choosing bikes with timeless design often means you'll love them longer. Then there's the engine character, which I think matters more than peak power. What I noticed comparing big engines is that smooth torque delivery makes everyday riding addictive. A peaky engine feels exciting briefly, but strong mid-range is what you enjoy daily. Most people overlook how often they ride below max RPM. So the practical lesson is to value usable power, not just bragging rights. Another point people debate is weight. Yes, a modern Blackbird wouldn't be feather light, but stability at speed matters, especially on highways. Light bikes feel exciting, yet heavier bikes often feel planted and secure. The misconception is that lighter always equals better handling. In reality, balance and suspension setup matter more. If Honda nails that balance, riders will appreciate confidence over raw agility. Comfort also deserves attention. What surprised me over years of riding is how seat quality affects trip enjoyment more than horsepower. Bad seats end rides early. A proper sport touring machine should invite long journeys, not punish them. Most riders underestimate ergonomics until their back starts complaining. Practical advice here, sit on a bike before obsessing over specs. Another overlooked factor is wind protection. The Blackbird always handled high-speed airflow brilliantly. Modern naked bikes look cool, but long rides expose their weaknesses quickly. Riders often realize this after buying, not before. A good fairing makes high-speed cruising calmer and less tiring. And calmer rides usually mean longer, better adventures. I also wonder how pricing will shape reception. If Honda positions it too close to premium tours, buyers may hesitate. But if priced smartly, it could attract riders wanting performance without massive touring bikes. The mistake companies make is forgetting middle ground riders exist. Many people want speed and comfort without massive touring bikes. So practical takeaway, choose bikes that match how you ride, not marketing categories. Fuel range is another detail people forget. Long-range capability defines real sport touring. Stopping every hour kills momentum. A proper tank range makes spontaneous trips possible. Most riders only appreciate this once they try long-distance rides. Then suddenly range matters more than horsepower. And let's talk about reliability expectations. Honda's reputation built trust over decades. A revived Blackbird must feel dependable, not experimental. The misconception is that performance bikes sacrifice reliability. But modern engineering can easily deliver both. And riders value machines that start every time without drama. Finally, there's emotional value. Bikes like the Blackbird weren't just machines, they represented an era of speed wars and engineering pride. A 2026 version shouldn't only chase nostalgia, it needs to feel relevant, not retro. Because riders don't just buy specs, they buy feeling. And if Honda captures that effortless, confident speed again, people will notice. Personally, I don't need it to be the fastest thing on the road. I just want it to remind riders how satisfying real-world speed and comfort can feel. And honestly, if the Blackbird returns with that spirit intact, I'd rather ride it across states than chase lap times anywhere else.